Hey, it's Margaret. Today we're going to be using a chair in yoga. I find this so helpful, especially if you're looking for grounding energy. If you don't have a chair accessible at home, try using an ottoman, a kitchen stool, or even a small table would work. So please join me. Starting in a comfortable seat, see if you can lift your heart space towards the ceiling while keeping your chin nice and level. And we'll start by taking some deep cleansing breaths as we settle in to our body, perhaps for the first time today, maybe even this week. And take some time to notice how you feel. I like to close my eyes, so feel free to, once you feel comfortable and safe in your surroundings, give those eyelids a gentle closing. And let the breath flow freely in and out a few more times. Without exaggerating the breath too much, just letting it float. And now see if you can make the breath last a little bit longer. One more breath here. Let it go. To start, we're going to face our chair and sit in easy pose. Siddhasana, it's with one foot towards you and the other foot slightly in front. So we're not crisscrossing our ankles, but one foot is placed in front of the other. And get comfy here, so always sitting up on pillows and or blankets. And I have some cushion on my chair as well, so it's nice and soft when I go to lean on it. And when you're ready, we'll just take this fold forward. You can rest your head directly on your chair, or maybe you even want to rest your head on your hands, raising that height even more so. If you would like, you can even come down onto your cheek. I like to sort of hang on to the bars of my chair as well. But if you don't have a folding chair like this, find something to gently wrap your fingers around perhaps, maybe clinging on to some fabric, or simply find whatever works for you. If you have a cheek to your support, we're going to turn our cheek in the other direction in 3 breaths. Okay, let's take our other cheek to our support. You may feel a stretch happening in the hips and maybe not. But noticing either way what you are feeling. Three more breaths. And we'll gently lift ourselves up off of our support and find a tall spine once again. Take a cleansing breath in and out. And whatever leg is in front, we're going to extend that long out towards the side a little bit. So send your foot perhaps underneath your support, or you can also place your support directly in front of you if there's no room underneath what you're using. You could just place it right in front. And I have the nice trick of placing my toes up against the bar here, which is offering this amazing feedback, and in return it's giving me this awesome hamstring stretch. So if you have that, that's amazing. I would definitely utilize that. And we'll lean forward for head to knee pose with our chair stopping us halfway, or whatever we're using. And once again, I kind of like to hang on to the bars of my chair and rest your head down when you're ready. It becomes this pretty deep sensation down the back of the leg, but we're also grounding it and stabilizing it. And when we do this, we're able to stay in the pose a little bit longer. It's safer for us as well, most importantly. Let the breath float. And we'll stay for 5 more breaths. And when you're ready, slowly pull away from your support. Sit up nice and tall. Notice a difference. All right, we're going to come back to our easy pose with our other leg in front. Switch which leg or ankle is in front, crisscrossing the other way. sit up nice and tall. And then we'll take that fold forward when you're ready, finding whatever works for your arms, whatever's sort of available for you. With our arms up, it kind of offers an additional heart opener, which is really nice as well. You can always let those eyes close. So today we're actively engaging in some very constructive rest. It's so important for our body and our mind. In 3 more breaths, if you have a cheek to your support, we're going to change the directions of our gaze. Take your other cheek to your support. And we'll stay for 5 more breaths. And we'll slowly pull away, lifting ourselves off our support. Pausing for a moment. With our other ankle and leg in front, we'll extend that leg long. Send it towards the outside edge of your mat. And then we'll bring the chair with us. You can keep your support directly in front of you if there's no room underneath your support for your leg. And this becomes just half butterfly, but it's still just as nice. And if you do have room, slide your chair over. We can take a fold forward whenever you're ready. Once again, I'm using the bar at my foot, which is so nice. And just hanging on, already feeling a beautiful stretch down the back of the leg. And noticing how both my hips are rooted firmly into the floor. Even if you're very flexible, this class is so great just because of that grounding stability. And the feedback from the chair onto your forehead or third eye even is so nice to kind of focus on that as you feel your spine supported and lengthened with the hips grounding down. We'll stay for 5 more breaths. And then we'll slowly lift ourselves away from our support. Come back to a tall spine and take a breath in and out. From here, we're actually going to stand up and place the chair on your mat in front of you. Finding mountain pose, we'll take a moment to just rock back and forth on the feet a few times, like rocking chair legs, as well as rocking from side to side, instep to outstep. Lift your shoulders up and then draw them down the back. Palms open up wide, mountain pose. Cleansing breath in and out. And then we'll just take a few circles of our head, dropping our ears from shoulder to shoulder, chin to chest. Keeping that energy open through the fingertips. And then find a nice neutral chin. With our feet hip-width apart or even a little bit wider, we're going to fold halfway, taking our hands to our support. Lift your belly button up and notice how this kind of feels like tabletop as we distribute our weight evenly between both hands and both feet. See if you can let your heart melt between your shoulders a little bit. And lift your belly button up even higher. Okay, let's come into a long, deep forward fold. So if you can take your head all the way to your support, that might be nice. If that feels even far away still, you can take your head to your hands. See if that works for you. And some of us might even be able to touch the floor in our forward fold normally. But notice how the chair offers its support and how that might feel in our body and our mind. Let your breath be soft and easy here. I have my arms outstretched past my head, and this also allows for a heart opener, but whatever feels right to you. And if we want to work a little bit in this posture, if we want to engage just a little bit, focus on pressing all four corners of the feet down. Pull the ankles in towards one another. Lift the kneecaps up. And then lift your belly button towards the ceiling. That's how we can engage this posture. Tapping into our core strength. Tapping into that integrity. But other than that, relax in this beautifully supported forward fold, Uttanasana. I definitely recommend the head being supported. However you can make that happen. We'll stay for about 7 to 10 more breaths. That's about a minute. Notice if you're gripping or holding on to anything. See if you can surrender and let go in those places. We'll very, very slowly push ourselves back up to a halfway lift. Taking our hands directly in front of our face, wrists underneath shoulders, lift the belly button up, ankles underneath hips, and take a moment in halfway lift. And then we're going to bend the knees to pull away from our support, coming back to mountain pose. Breathe in, breathe out. We're going to turn our chair around next. With our chair turned around, it's going to act as sort of a ballet bar. Taking our hands to the back of our chair, we'll step our right foot back for warrior one, left foot forward. Our left toes are at 12 o'clock and our right toes are at 2 o'clock. More like 2 o'clock, 2:30. And we'll just settle in until we can feel all four corners of our feet on the floor. You may need to take your left foot to the left or your right foot to the right. So we're on railroad tracks and not a tightrope. Let that chair take on some of the burdens of this posture. We'll hold this for 3 more breaths before we reach our arms up, and hold that for 3 long breaths. So when you're ready, reach your arms up really high. We'll get that stretch through the front of the right hip now. For 3, 2, 1. Exhale the hands back down. Nice job. Let's switch legs. Step your right foot forward all the way towards the right. And then step your left foot back all the way towards the left. This time toes are at 10 o'clock, maybe 9:30. And we'll settle in until we get our hips to point forward and until we feel all 4 corners of our feet rooting down into the floor. Let the chair take on some of the weight of this pose. And if your support isn't as tall as a chair like this, or it doesn't have a back, you can always use the wall for support in our warrior one. We'll hold for 3 more breaths. And then we'll reach our arms up for 3 breaths. Big inhale. Big exhale. Big inhale. Let it go. 1 more. Exhale, release your hands back down and come to stand upright, nice and tall, taking mountain pose once again. Next, we're going to make our way onto our back for legs up the wall using our chair. So turn your chair around again. We're going to come to lie down using pillows and blankets so that you're most comfortable. Maybe even going to get a blanket to wrap around yourself. and maybe even putting on some comfy socks. So we'll sit down in front of our chair and then slide our legs up the chair. You'll take the backs of your knees to the chair, letting your calves be supported, and my feet end up being nice and restful on the back of the chair, which is nice. And you'll just find what works for you with your given support object. And we get to take this amazing pose, legs up the wall, for a few minutes here. You can take your hands to your belly, letting them rise and fall with breath. If you would like an added sort of bonus stretch, you can take your arms up overhead, elbows bent, and enjoy a heart opener here. Let the skin of your face be soft. Trying different things with your arms, and if they don't work, coming back to what felt right at first. Our body carries so much weight all day, every day. And even those of us without injuries, we compensate in ways that we have no idea we're compensating for weaknesses and discomfort in the body. By practicing with a chair, we're able to keep things level and equal. And the work that is done tends to be more therapeutic. So letting all of that gentle approach to life, to our healing, to our mind and body, let that absorb in this posture. Not forcing our breath, not forcing our body, and not forcing our mind. Just simply being. I invite you to stay in this pose a little bit longer. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a blessed day. Namaste.